Hi, this is Sheila with Conscious Conversation Central, and it is still Friday. Yes, so far on the East Coast, February the 8th, 2019. And so Lisa and BZ and I are back. And this is a quick one, you said, BZ, and we're just kind of throwing it out. So you take it over. Because you know where we're going with it, sort of. Sort of, right?
Sort of. Yeah, initiation and initiate and taking the initiative and having your initiation of your initiative as an initiate.
Well, I was trying to be punny, but that wasn't gonna happen. So, well, and all of that you were saying, as you were saying all of that, what I got was, and that is how sovereignty begins.
Yes, because it's all this came in while I was leaning under the table, being bonked on the head, and then kissed by two dogs. So, anyways, it's our consciousness. Consciousness is, you could say, in its form of initiation, and asking us to take the initiative in going through our own initiations of that consciousness fully unfolding. And no, I can't repeat that because I just said it as it came in. So that's
yeah, you'll have to rewind if you'd like to hear. That's beautiful.
I can feel all of that and agree with it wholeheartedly. As I've contemplate what has taken place for me in regards to, well, the growth, the expansion that I have experienced now, not just since I started the channel, but I mean, that's been more exponential growth really since I started the channel, but I can see where there's an initiative, there's an initiative to begin with. There has to be that initial inertia.
There you go.
I knew I'd get funny if I waited long enough. No.
There you go.
But no, there has to be something to spark it off. And I have a question for you about that, BZ. Maybe it doesn't belong in this, but well, I would say that it doesn't belong in this, actually. I think my phone just agreed with me. Because it's a question, but it doesn't really matter one way or the other, and didn't have really anything to do with me. So I think I just got my answer on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody else is going, huh? What? Who? Where? Huh?
Well,
okay.
So the question just got formulated in a different manner.
Okay.
So.
Oh, I love when that happens. Do go on.
So when one uh, oh, I guess the question is, how does one recognize an initiative? That originating, the initiating inertia.
Well, that's a question, and the first thing that comes to heart is it's seamless, and so the whole recognizing the initiative transforms it from an initiative to a think process, and so you've actually stalled the initiative.
Well, the answer that came to me from me,
Okay.
for me, apparently,
Uh-huh.
because I didn't recognize my own initiative, initial inertia. I didn't recognize that for that being that, right? I can see it now, when I contemplate how I ended up here now. Oh, that's what that was, kind of thing, It's like, I can see it now, but without that expansion on board, I don't know that I might have recognized. And so that actually plays in for me back to our very last conversation in regards to not labeling and scripting and all of that sort of thing for me, anyway.
Yes. Well, that would have been another way to categorize my answer to the same thing. Because, so look at it this way. So when you just described that I can see it now, there was no need to see it to label it then, because it brought you to where you are now, which lets you see it as that initiation or the initiative to go forward with something, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you took the initiative to step into your own initiation.
From following my heart's desire to, by the way.
Yeah.
That just came in huge for me.
Yeah, I was going to answer it that way. When you said that, I said, when you follow that, whatever, and you initiate something because of it, then you've now created it. Now it's an initiative, right?
Right.
Before it was just a nudge. It doesn't become an initiative. So it's like your action, your steps create the initiative. Oh, this is so good.
And that's your initiation into being initiated, taking the initiative, right? And noticing something that comes forth as that initiation or the initiative to do something. It's not like it's almost, well, it's not almost. It is each one of those thought forms are distinctly different, even though you could say, well, wait a minute, they're represented by the same word per se, yet the frequency and the flow, because last time, a minute ago in the previous conversation, we were talking about following the flow, right? So the flow, the frequency, the whole kind of roadway or venue or ball game or stream or however you want to say that you then navigate, that unfolds, that you behold unfolding in front of you, is all unique and has its own complexity and a vibrant nature to it, yet it could be, the 3 or 4 things, if we're looking at it for just one little piece, 3 or 4 things, yet it's also all the same thing. Again, it has to do with those levels and layers.
Mm-hmm.
So you can stand in one space with the initiation, the initiative, right, and all the things that we've just talked about, and they can all be around one particular focus, yet it unfolds so that it's presenting you with your multidimensionality of that quote unquote thing,
right,
that you are encountering or being initiated to. So you create the quest, you reveal the quest, you unfold the quest, you carry out the quest, right? You observe you doing the quest, and then have the post-game wrap up and deconstruct of the quest all at the same time would be, nowhere near as good a way to describe it, but kind of it helps it, because people can see the idea of a quest, and someone, they've got to go out and go on this, thing, and it's right. But that's what this is all speaking to. And it's interesting because there was the first time that I see how clearly it illuminates the multidimensionality and the toroidal aspect in that one moment, which again relates to what we were talking about, something we were talking about in the last conversation, where you can shift, change, quote unquote, heal or whole something from back then, right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm just amazed by quite a bit of what you've just said, partly due to you really threw me with the quest bit, because over the last, I don't know, a week or so, maybe a little bit more, I've been feeling like, oh, that's what we're doing here. We're on a quest. Wake up, everybody. We're on a quest.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, it's cool to me that you picked right up on that. So that was unexpected.
So think of the different, because there's something here to play with for answer some of the as yet not quite fully formed questions that are coming in. There's a lot of cool books, stories, allegories, even some movies that are around, a quest. There's a quest, and usually they're looking for something, and they discover, something written, or they have this encounter, and they realize that in order to do what they want to do, or they want something to happen, they realize that what's unfolding for them, what they've initiated, is this path flowing of this quest, to go on this quest. And as that reveals itself, as it's unmasked for them, then they have to decide to take the initiative to take up this quest. And almost at every turn, so and every choice point, every node point, they need to have an initiation into something which reveals more of the quest, certain parts, paths on the quest. They need to take the initiative in those things. They are initiate in one aspect of that, in revealing something, in unfolding or healing or whatever, so there's lots of different angles to it. And the quest brings forth those initiations, trials and tribulations, right? The different pushing of oneself and revealing of oneself and trusting one. Hey, it's kind of like everything that we're doing here in various, ways that we would describe it. And when you're on a quest, and when you're playing with this, it's like this, this sphere and all the facets, that are in the sphere, and you behold them, and you can see, just this part, all the different, paths within that you are taking the initiative to, and you're being initiated in as you go on that. It unfolds and reveals different pockets and caverns, or you could use lots of words as metaphors to go through that, to reveal stuff to you. And when you, oftentimes a quest is, it's exhilarating, it's exciting, it's this amazing camaraderie and love story, and even if there's only one being involved in the quest. And throughout the great storms that come upon you, then the clearing of the air and the magnificent vistas and scenery that unfold, right? There is really never anything, part of that, the revelation of that quest, the unfoldment of going through that initiation, taking the initiative and standing firmly as the initiate in doing all of this. Nothing ever was wrong. And nothing ever was as it originally seemed to be. And you could say, unfolded perfectly. And when you arrive, when you see it, when it unmasks itself, when it unveils, the brilliance brings you to your knees in a way that is beholding the majesty of you as the one who's gone on the quest and the initiative and all that's unfolding. And that hits me right now in the heart as a wonderful way to describe exactly what we're all doing right now.
Yeah, it occurred to me that there's not just one quest that we do or undertake in any given incarnation. There are,
it's a way to see this incarnation.
Well, and that's, but I mean, it's not just one quest is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've seen where there's, and one may have a series of several quests going on at once. I feel.
Yes, absolutely. As you take the initiative to step through that initiation, you actually have, revealed multiple quests, and then you go through, and hey, because you're multidimensional, you do them simultaneously. The revealing that you are doing them simultaneously, like we just talked about with, you started with the beginning, doesn't come for something for you to see, right, until you've come around the bend a bit.
Well, now, exactly.
But you clearly see it.
Well, and that was what my next statement was going to be, because a whole lot of questions went up just then about, well, wait a minute. I'm not on a quest. Yes, we all are. And it's a matter for me of, I see everything as metaphor now. And so almost everything that, I can see very clearly how it's multiple quests. We don't realize, and we've been doing this all along, I feel. And it's really
eons.
Well, I was just referring to this incarnation, but no, you're right. Well, because that's where most everybody's most concerned about,
right,
is the one they're currently in. But I can see that, without the being open to the noticing, I couldn't see that about all of that.
Yeah, you couldn't come around the bend.
Right. No. And so, there's some prerequisites for me. Being open is always first, because without that, you got nothing. You can't even, nothing can get in, nothing can, so that for me, if you're looking for a tool, that's the first one in the toolbox. Has to be open, have to be willing to be open, period. And then the rest of it kind of starts just showing up, first of all, if you're open. But the noticing then for me was absolutely huge in that, because that's the only way I actually could then turn around and notice, okay, now I see it. So, yeah, multiple quests on multiple levels.
Yes, and multiple realms, multi-dimensions, multiple frequencies.
Yes, that's what I meant. Absolutely.
And multiple decodings of various things that have always been within you and new that have come in within you. And again, that's where that taking the initiative and being an initiate and going through an initiation, you could do that on one particular thing on multiple levels and layers and from different sides, so to say, of it, right? Mm-hmm. And then each one is like another door, on the quest. So you enter this hall. It's this magnificent, well, it looks like, the flower of life. So it has all those spheres, like in wonderful old, I don't know the kind of architecture, but it's old churches with the Gothic columns architecture, and there's doors in all of those ways. And as you take the initiative to just pan the room, so you're noticing the room, the various doors illuminate, and you realize as you come, through some of the quest and taking the initiative and you've gone through various initiations, that you come around the bend and you realize that you didn't go off per se on through one door that was just in this room or down this corridor or led you out into that side of the castle, however you want to hold it, and you open the door and there's 100,000 acres in front of you, or the woods or whatever, but they're all connected. And by that by the initiative to go forward on the quest in that particular area, it's brought you to see all of the other things, revealed all of those to you. You made the other doors appear, and you brought forth the vista beyond those doors for the simple, well, it's all at the behest of you. Its unfoldment is because you initiated it and took on the quest for the initiation through all of those things.
It's occurred to me in this moment of now, as you were speaking there, that we're going to be initiated into quests. It is the because we're all going on quests, no matter whether we know it or not, believe it or not, realize it or not, whatever, right? And not all quests are pleasant and fun if the frequential neighborhood one frequents, and the kind of what I'm getting at here is that not all quests go in the direction I'm looking to go in, because I think that can happen too.
Well, they do. All quests do when you come from the broader perspective.
Yes, but what I guess
is it a thorny, muddy, crocodile strewn?
That's what I mean.
Path along the way. Yeah, you bet.
That's what I'm trying to.
I've been through a lot of those places.
I guess that's what I'm trying to.
Big teeth.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying
to. Remember, they're self-initiated, so you get to choose which ones you go on.
Right, exactly. That's what I was beckoned to say. I've been on plenty of quests that I've initiated that I didn't enjoy the ride. Now, well, at the end of the quest, I got what I actually obtained and got what apparently I was
initiated.
Yes, because the ultimate initiator is right.
Well, yes. Right.
And so you absolutely did get exactly what you was your heart's desire. And each quest and each unfoldment and each initiation that you passed through absolutely was sublimely delicious, spectacular, and wow. Now, was there a perception of WTF? You bet, on some of them. Absolutely. But even within that, huh?
I was going to say, because that's within the experience, and you cannot deny it. It's part of the fun.
It is. It is. And, and it's because that's what allows you to, you could say, see the door that opens to this new vista, or to create the door to the new quest, because that door, you've taken the initiative then to materialize that door, which leads you on your quest, because you're continuing on the quest, and they may seem like they're diametrically opposed, but again, you're not just linear. And as we play with, each individual being plays with more and trusts more and acknowledges more, and I'm not talking about anybody else outside of them, just within themselves, they realize that their multidimensionality begins to describe and quantify and kind of put in those missing pieces to the things that didn't quite make sense before. And that's again where you are taking the initiative to honor yourself and acknowledge these things and be initiated through each of those different aspects, waves of light that come in that illuminate these things for you and move forward.
Yeah. I got a visual of that piece where you have to, because you desire of something. The thing that pulls that desire to you is for you to stand up and to begin to move toward it. And then it pulls that, that matching thing then just comes to you.
Yes, and to be clear, I didn't quite grasp exactly how that all works, no matter what the frequency is, until we had that conversation, Lisa, where you helped me see. I used to have that saying that you could put me in a room full of really good fellers and one son of a gun, and I would head straight for the son of a gun instead of any of those really nice guys that might want to, And Lisa helped me see that that's the frequential neighborhood that I was. So it was still I would say I was heading for him, but it's not like I went over. But it's a magnetic attraction thing that I didn't quite grasp in that, but that's the same as what you're speaking on here. So it works no matter what.
It works.
It works. Right. Yeah. And I never saw that. I didn't, I just couldn't see that. I didn't have the eyes to see that, until just recently here. But it applies no matter what you're speaking on.
I was looking for, maybe someone knows it, but I was looking for there's a quote in Indiana Jones, and I don't remember which one it was, but he's reading the little book in his hand, his journal or his dad's journal, whoever's journal, and he's like being chased, and he's come to the edge, and there's this pit in front of him, and whatever the saying is, I don't know if it's scripture or something, where look and you'll see, and the path will be revealed, because there's this chasm, and the bad guys are coming, and if he goes in there, he's dead meat, and if he stays here, he's dead meat, and he's got the silly phrase in his hand, but that's what I wish I could think of it. But the part I'm talking about.
Yeah, I feel it dancing around the edges of my consciousness, but I can't bring it forward either.
Yeah, me either.
Well, and part of it is, the energetic that I feel behind it, because I can't remember the quote, is that scene that I've shared with you before from the Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, where the devil character walks off the cliff, and and the cloud steps up to meet him, and he walks across the sky on clouds that are just coming up to for his steps. So it's the same kind of energetic, that quote, I feel, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so the ones that came up, which could be correct, is only the penitent man may pass, and that's not the scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But only in the footsteps of God will he proceed, which could be of the full, and not the God that we think of, you know,
Right.
where there's the aversion to the God and all that kind of stuff, because I heard a lot of people. It's that leap of faith. It's that leap of and what is that faith? But it's that trust in thine own self be true. Sort of to kind of mix metaphors there on the biblical sense.
Yeah.
Well, but it's very clear to me to see in this moment of now how it's also very interconnected, because without the trust of self, there's a little, how do I even begin a quest? Because I don't trust myself to even be initiated into a quest. So there's that one. You've got the, the not being able to be open. So there's so much that is all interconnected, that I can see in the unbinding and unwinding that we have to do to just even to trust ourselves, first of all.
Right. And it's the answer. So it's well, I think it's fascinating how this whole topic came about. But
yeah, BZ had to get bonked on the head for this one. I just want everybody to know that BZ got bonked on the head to bring this conversation to the fore.
That, what we're speaking of, the taking the initiative and being the initiate and taking and going through the initiation is all what this quest of this particular lifetime, just in a very narrow focus, is all about. Because as you go through the various quests and various initiations, and you keep unmasking, unfolding, revealing those doors and those new vistas, you are going through the initiation, right? So you could say sometimes it comes with a purification and a blossoming forth, right? A quest usually peels off stuff and hones, and all that kind of thing. Of what we were just speaking about again in the at the very end of the last conversation we had, where there's the triad, and that the quintessential unfolding and unmasking of the triad of one, and then two together with the 6 and 3 for the 9, which is Fibonacci and the code and the whole flower of life that is in everything, doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
And so that really is kind of like that singularity, that singular focus point. So you could then describe it as everything finds down to the point, the implosion to that one point, which then explodes in that whole new creation. I jokingly, I don't know if it was in a Quantum Playground short conversation I was doing, or something what we were talking about in another conversation on camera or something, but or I guess actually it's one of the upcoming ones. It's about the new Big Bang, that we are we're on this quest to create this new bang.
Yeah.
Big bang.
Well, in terms of what you were just speaking on there, I have to, because again, this is something that Lisa and I just recently discovered. And so it's one of those things where we are all on a quest. I mean, this is a real life, it happened thing that I can see now as was a quest. And it's so multi-layered and so dimensional. It's taking my breath away and it's making me dizzy just thinking about it. Because there were 6 people. No. Yeah. Yeah. There were 6 people involved in this quest. And none of them knew it. None of them realized it was a quest. And I don't even know, we didn't discuss this part of it, but I see now what happened in my backyard in July of 2016 as a huge quest that culminated in what a whole shit ton of stuff that I don't even know how to, not just what has happened for me personally in this house, but Lisa and her entire family and anyone and everyone that watches this channel. Oh, that feels so huge to me to be able to see that now in that manner, and the numbers play into that. Mm-hmm. What we were doing back there, we didn't even understand what we were doing at the time. Mm-mm. When we created that energetic portal in my backyard. Oh, wow, that felt
so. We did.
And yet we did. And everyone who showed up and partook of, and a couple of them didn't even know what was really happening. The divine masculine that stood as witness didn't even realize, because we didn't know.
Well, no, we discussed it. We did.
We did, but we didn't quite grasp at the time exactly why and how, because it was just flowy. But that was absolutely a quest.
And what you just gave a description of too, so that people can notice it, in different ways. It gets one of those things as we each individually, collectively share different things and play with and reveal, different focuses of things to come forth. Mm-hmm. It's like that little gentle tap on your brain is going, oh yeah, But what you described with that in the yard is, yes, it was outside and it was a yard, and so you got trees and all that kind of stuff. But it's the same exact, because I was talking about a mystical representation about being in that center of that great hall, right? And yours, the great hall, the cathedral was the trees and the grass and right? But in the great hall, and you then revealed on the quest, you then took the initiative and were initiated through the different doors that you then revealed and unfolded. And those doors happen through, you could say they happen through, you walk from one to the other or revealed it. They could happen through years. They've happened through time. They've happened through the Lisa door and this door and this door and this. So again, all of this just in this particular conversation, in this particular energetic envelope. So everything is literal. Everything is figurative. Everything is metaphorical. Everything is tangible, actual, factual, mystical, representational, and kind of a visioning board. It's all of those things, just at the very tiniest, aspect and portion of it. But it comes to me now that it's almost like a great prepping of your canvas for your own, pretty much every great quest has some form of a journal, some form of something that's a tangible talisman. I'm not going to get this right, but a tangible talisman that, is your guide sort of thing. And it's genuinely represented as external to oneself, because it's only when you come round through the initiation, taking the initiative to go through the quest, do you realize that the guide was with. So the guide could be, the guide could be Yoda, who's teaching you how to use the lightsaber. So the guidebook, whatever it is, that's just a metaphor or a representational, actual physical figure thing that you've put out there, until you can come around the bend and see that you're the guide.
Right. Yep. Exactly. That's why I felt beckoned to point that out, because not a single one of us had a clue, really, that that's what was happening at that moment. No. But every one of the beings that participated were being guided by themselves, even though they were not aware of it. And to this day, as far as I know, because I just realized it right here, right now. So,
yeah, that day, I knew, because to me, it was a culmination of many things in my life. And the moment that it happened, it was unmistakable to me. I knew it was a quest. But how huge and how beautiful all of it was really, I just had a tiny, tiny little, it's still revealing itself to me. It's still getting more and more exciting. And it was almost so exciting. Just what I could take in was almost enough to make me feel like I was going to come apart at the seams, like almost too much joy. And how much more joy I am capable of since then, by the way, I am proud to announce, has also grown exponentially due to the quest.
Agreed. There's some happy, exciting news too for everybody. Let me just say.
Yeah. Wow.
Someone just asked, no, I wasn't there.
No, BZ wasn't there. Nope, BZ was not there.
Another quest.
No, that's right. That's another quest. And I can see that now too.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
If we thought that one was huge, just wait.
I know. Wait, just 5 seconds. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Holy crap, Ola, is all I can say.
So my head bonking work is done.
Yes, thank you. We appreciate the effort.
Yes. Wow. The when one takes a moment, just a brief moment to try to wrap the feelings even around the hugeness of
Or the beauty.
right? The
It's cosmically delicious.
The majesty. Yeah.
and then some. Yeah.
Makes my head tingle. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit dizzy over here. So,
Mhm.
did either one of you have anything you wanted to add to this one?
Thanks for questing.
Yeah, yeah, BZ, I love this one. I just don't like the fact that you hit your head to get it.
Well, I didn't hit the head to get it. I just was in the midst of doing something. It hit my head, and as I was doing all of that,
It flew
this
in.
all came
Okay.
through, and I had to laugh because I was like, I'm a little busy here.
Yes, trying to stave off a concussion. Hold up.
Doesn't matter.
That's right.
No.
Get with the program and get going. Okay.
Well, thank you for all of your efforts.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you, but I found our conversations to be quite healing.
Yes.
So you did the right thing.
Yeah.
Bonk your head. And
Wow. All right. Well, we will have, of course, all the usual things of how to contact any one of us, and in the show more section of this video. And as always, feel free to comment or contact any one of us. If you feel so led. I'd love to hear from folks. And till next time.
much love.